I apologize in advance as there are no playthrough footage, because at the time when I was playing the game, I was just playing it for fun and never intended to make a video out of it. But let's just get right on with the video. This is the story of Snowball the Glaceon. A couple months passed after I completed my first playthrough of Pokemon Shield, and I wanted to replay the game again, but this time I tried something different. I did a Pokemon Shield Quad Lock playthrough. So a quad lock, for those who don't know, is like a normal Nuzlocke, where if a Pokemon faints, it dies, only one Pokemon can be caught per route, and it must be the first encounter of that route. All Pokemon must be nicknamed, etc. But a quad lock, however, the first 4 Pokemon I catch determines the 4 types I will be restricted to during the playthrough, as every Pokemon I catch must have at least one of those types, regardless of it being a dual typing or not. As long as the Pokemon has one of the 4 types or evolves into a Pokemon with one of the 4 types, it's eligible for usage. So, when I started out my journey, I picked Sabo as my starter, as I knew there were plenty of water types that were viable, and Sabo was not a starter I have picked in the past, so it restricted my first type to being a water type. On Route 1, I caught a Rookidee, which gave me the choice of either flying or steel type for my second type, because Corvid Knight is flying and steel type, so I chose the flying type as my second restricted type. And then I caught Blipbug on Route 2. Because Blipbug evolved into a bug psychic type Orbeetle, I am allowed to choose between those 2 typings, to which I picked Psychic for my third typing. After all the story stuff, I traveled to the wild area to get the final typing restriction for my team. As I was running around, I accidentally encountered a Snover in South Lake Mylock, and because it was my first encounter, I had to catch it. So when I caught it, I had to decide between grass or ice to which type I will pick to be my final restriction type, and for some reason, I picked the ice type. A bunch of stuff happened, and I eventually made it to Route 4, a route before the first gym, where I caught an Eevee as my first encounter, which I could either evolve into a Vaporeon, Water type, Espeon, Psychic type, or Glaceon, Ice type. I decided on Glaceon because it was the one I liked the most out of the 3, so I then named the Eevee Snowball. So, but it was gonna be a while until it was gonna evolve into a Glaceon, as the earliest I could get an Ice Stone for the evolution for Glaceon is from the Digging Duo, so it was gonna stay an Eevee for a while. Eevee, even though it's not evolved, didn't disappoint, however, as due to its lack of an Ice typing, it was able to hit Milo, Nessa, and Kabu's Pokemon for neutral damage and take neutral hits. For Milo, I had flying types to handle him, and I had water types for Kabu, but Snowball the Eevee ended up being the one to carry the team in all 3 battles, because, I don't know, the stab normal is a bit strong early game. And after defeating Kabu, I headed straight to the digging duo as soon as I can. And after a few digging attempts, I finally got an Ice Stone, and I evolved Snowball into a Glaceon on the spot. Because it was still relatively early game, and because Glaceon is a fully evolved Pokemon, it was very powerful and was destroying a lot of Pokemon it went against very easily. For the 4th gym against Alistair, all of my Pokemon besides my Psychic types were mostly neutral against the Ghost types, apart from Snowball, who I managed to teach Shadow Ball using a TM, which allowed it to, once again, carry the team, and even KO'd Alistair's Cursula and Gengar after I stalled out the Gigantamax turns. In the next gym battle against Opal, Glaceon did not really get much time to shine. However, it was still able to take down her Togekiss. In the 6th gym against Melanie, Glaceon was not able to deal super effective stab damage against her Pokemon, but it was able to tank up a lot of damage throughout the whole battle and survive for a long time, so I could heal up my Pokemon that was injured in the back. This is because for most of the match, hail was up, and because Glaceon had the Snow Cloak ability, it allowed Glaceon to have an increased invasion stat during the hailstorm, which allowed Snowball to dodge many of Darmanitan's and Ice-Q's attacks, especially one of Darmanitan's Fire Fangs, which would have definitely killed Snowball if it were to hit. But more importantly, it allowed Snowball to stall out Lapras for not only its Gigantamax turns, but also its Aurora Veil turns after it set up Aurora Veil with G-Max Resonance, which allowed me to eventually win the match safely, even though it was one of the toughest gym battles I ever had with my type setup. Up until this point, Snowball the Eevee and Christmas Tree the Abomasnow were the two team members I had on my team the longest. My Corvus Squire died very early on, my Dottler got boxed, and my Inteleon died during the fight against Hop in Circhester. So I then went to Spikemuth, and for the fight against Piers, I did not really use Snowball that much and relied mostly on my other Pokemon, but it did deserve that rest, honestly. After defeating Piers and doing the story stuff, I went back to Hammerlock, where I had to fight the final gym leader, Raihan. It was a double battle, and I knew that he was going to set up Sandstream with Gigalith at the start of the match and pair it up with Flygon. So I strategized and I started with Snowball and Christmas Tree, the Abomasnow, which allowed me to set up Hail with Snow Warning because Christmas Tree was slower. The Snow Warning set up over the Sandstorm, which allowed me to KO the Gigalith with a Wood Hammer because of the non-boosted stat from rock types in a Sandstorm. And then Glaceon hit a 100% accurate Blizzard onto the Flygon, OHKOing it because in the hail, Blizzard is 100% accurate. Raihan then sends out his next two Pokemon, his Sandaconda and Duraludon. He instantly Gigantamaxes his Duraludon, and I don't know why, but I decided to keep both my Pokemon in. And I managed to KO the Sandaconda with Glaceon, but then his Duraludon max Steel spiked onto my Abomasnow, OHKOing it. Snowball the Glaceon just witnessed its longtime friend, Christmas Tree, the Abomasnow, die right in front of it because I did not switch it out, which was my bad. But Snowball then became the longest surviving Pokemon I had after Christmas Tree died. I knew another Max Steel Spike was coming Snowball's way, so I swapped them out and KO'd the Duraludon using my Mamoswine and Dracovish instead. After we mourned the loss of Christmas Tree and all the other Pokemon had died, I continued on my journey to face the champion. In the championship tournament, I was able to defeat Marnie, Hop, Bede, Nessa, and Alistair with ease with my team with no deaths. And the next opponent after Alistair was Raihan once again. And Glaceon wanted revenge for its fallen friends, so in this match, it had to win. After Mamoswine KO's Torkoal with 2 Earthquakes, and then Dracovish defeating his Turtonator, Snowball came in, OHKO'd his Flygon and Gudra with Blizzards, and then Mamoswine defeated the Duraludon once again, giving me the win and allowing me to advance and face Leon to become Pokemon Champion. But before that could happen, the end of the world started to happen, and we had to fight some evil people, and then moving on, fast forward, Eternatus battle. Eternamax Eternatus is right in front of me and was ready to destroy the world and my whole team. But by my side were the legendary Pokemon duo, Zacian and Zamazenta. My rival, Hop, and his double, and most importantly, in front of me, fearlessly facing down the Eternatus, was Snowball the Glaceon. With Behemoth Blades from Zacian, Behemoth Bash from Zamazenta, whatever Hop was doing all that time, and Blizzards from my Snowball, we were able to defeat Eternatus with ease. And now, back to the championship. Now, onto the final battle with Leon. Everything was going smoothly throughout the battle. Snowball was able to take down his Haxorus and Rillaboom, while the rest of my Pokemon handled Aegislash, Rhyperior, and Dragapult, who had Flamethrower. And it ended up being a 6 vs 1 against Leon's Gigantamax Charizard. Apart from the fact that 4 members of my team were low on HP, aside from Snowball the Glaceon and Bobby the Dracovish. In the battle against this Charizard, I started with Mammoth the Mamoswine, but Mammoth was on red HP against a full HP Charizard, so I swapped them out for Bobby the Dracovish, who was on full HP, and Leon Gigantamaxed his Charizard instantly. he used G-Max Wildfire, which Dracovish tanked very easily, but then Charizard's next attack, Max Overgrowth, KO'd Dracovish. But not before Dracovish was able to heal up Mamoswine. Mamoswine then was brought back and hits Charizard with a powerful Rock Slide that brought it down to around half HP. Charizard then hits Mammoth with a critical hit G-Max Wildfire, which OHKO'd Mammoth in one hit. And then now I'm left with one full HP Glaceon and 3 other low HP Pokemon and 2 deaths. With no other choice, I had to send out Glaceon. Snowball, who is now has to defeat this Charizard in order to avenge Bobby and Mammoth and win me the league, and also avenge all of its other comrades that died along the way, was staring down its toughest opponent yet. Charizard has a type advantage, has one more turn of Gigantamax, and has Max Wildfire reoccurring damage every turn. With the odds stacked against us, Charizard sent out a powerful Fire Blast, which Snowball managed to dodge, but Snowball's Blizzard also missed the Charizard. Snowball took some Wildfire damage, but on the next turn, Snowball once again dodges another Fire Blast, but lands the Blizzard this time. The Blizzard was a critical hit and managed to get Charizard's HP to about less than 5 HP. Snowball took some more Wildfire damage, but then as soon as the Wildfire clears, Snowball managed to finish off Leon's Charizard with a priority Ice Shard, defeating Leon and allowing me to become Pokemon Champion. Snowball the Glaceon was the longest surviving member of my team and arguably the MVP of this Pokemon Shield quadlock. From catching it as an Eevee and then defeating Leon's Charizard with it as a Glaceon, it made Glaceon become one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. And I don't care what anyone says about it. It doesn't matter that it's bad and competitive. My Glaceon, named Snowball, is one of my favorite Pokemon that I've ever used. Snowball the Glaceon will be a Pokemon that I will indeed remember forever. So why did I tell you this story? Well, not too long after I completed this playthrough, I actually got a white Pomeranian in real life who I named Snowball. Unfortunately, a few days ago, Snowball the Pomeranian passed away due to illness, and I don't know when this video is coming out, but it might already be a week that passed. But yeah, maybe it's been a week, but right now as I'm recording this audio, it's been about a few days, and it has affected me really badly. Like, I never genuinely cried in such a long time, and I was in so much grief and pain with the loss of Snowball the Pomeranian. Snowball was the one who helped me keep my mental health intact throughout 2022, and now he's gone. Like, I'll miss him, and I wished I spent a lot more time with him, because I was usually busy with like schoolwork and like just busy in general. Snowball was one of the few things that made me genuinely happy throughout this year, and I still can't accept that he's no longer with me. And just like Snowball the Glaceon, Snowball the Pomeranian will always have a special place in my heart, and I will remember him forever. He was not a good boy or a good dog. He was the best dog anyone could ever ask for. He was the best friend anyone could ever ask for. I will transfer Snowball the Glaceon into my Pokemon home for him to be a memory of my Snowball Pomeranian in real life. And every year on his birthday, I promise I'll bring him out to battle some random Pokemon, have fun with it, to honor and remember Snowball the Pomeranian, my good friend in real life that I have sadly lost. I know this is a different type of video to ones that I normally do, but this is a video that I feel like I must make. It's like a video that's very important to me, like for the sake of Snowball the Pomeranian, and to have his life be acknowledged and remembered. Thank you, Snowball, for everything you have helped me with, especially with my mental health and happiness. Even though you may not even have known it, I will always remember you. I'll always love you. Goodbye, my friend. I'll see you down the road once again someday. But until then, when we meet again, I will hand feed you your favorite treats, like always. I'm definitely not cheering up while writing the script or saying this audio. One last time, thank you, my friend. I'll miss you greatly. May you rest in peace, the legend, the eater of worlds, destroyer of gods, lord of the demons, my adorable little pal, and my best friend, Snowball.